The ancestors are delivering a special message during this time. They wanted me to get on and bring this message forward for the generational healers, the chosen ones, the individuals who have been brought forward to change the dynamic, to break the cycles in their lineage. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump into what the ancestors are beckoning me to speak on right now. So they're saying many of you all who are the chosen ones, you're dealing with some energy surrounding who you are. You're looking at other people and you're trying to figure out if you're supposed to be like them, right? You have certain ideas and certain plans and certain desires, and you have your own creative energy. But sometimes you look at other people in different ways, in different aspects of life, and you're like, well, maybe I'm supposed to be like this. Especially those of you who are really tasked with being a chosen one and a generational healer in a deep way. You feel heavily connected to this identity of a chosen one. However, you're looking at other people who you feel are also chosen ones, who are, saying that they're chosen ones, who are generational healers, and you're seeing how they show up, people that you resonate with and vibe with, and you see them showing up in a certain way, and you're like, I should be showing up in this way too. I'm supposed to look the part. I'm supposed to be in a certain dynamic or in a certain aspect. And the ancestors are saying, no, they're coming out loud and clear. Even so, the ancestors, right? The ancestral spirit cards is coming out, and they're saying, no, you were created to be uniquely you. There is no specific look. There is no specific aesthetic that comes along with being a chosen one. Okay. You will look, dress, and act the part according to the gifts, the knowledge, and the wisdom that you have been given. You don't have to dress a certain way. You don't have to look a certain way. You don't have to act a certain way, a specific way, according to whatever you think that is meant to be. You're supposed to show up as yourself, as your authentic, true self in every aspect of that. That being said, it's also so very important, guys, for you to be willing to transform when necessary. So this is a double-edged sword type of message. They're saying you need to be you, but also don't be afraid to change and transform into who you are meant to become, because there's so many aspects and so many layers of you as a chosen one, and you're not always going to look the same or act the same at every phase of your journey, and that's okay. And it is absolutely okay when people are coming at you, because some people are really getting into your head, getting you emotional, because they're saying to you, well, you're acting different now, or you didn't used to be like this, or you used to do this, or what have you, because many of the chosen ones are waking up on a really high level and they are changing the course, right? You're setting boundaries, you're holding to those boundaries, you're starting to dig into traditional religions or indigenous systems, or just finding your own philosophical beliefs, whatever they may be, and you're stepping into that role. And other people are like, well, you've changed and you're supposed to change. Even though you have, this identity tied to your lineage, and you don't have to look and be like everybody else, you are still supposed to transform, right? So again, two parts of the message: be yourself, be your whole authentic self, as you change, as you grow, as you transform and become the person that you were meant to be. And they're saying, don't let people get into your head, because you are dealing with an emotional roller coaster. Some of you are right now, because of all of the different dynamics that you're dealing with in your experience, right? Even the transformation, some of you are having a hard time getting over that hump, because you know where you want to be, you know where you're supposed to be or meant to be, but at the same time it's hard to leave the familiar at different stages of your journey as a chosen one. And herein, this is the beautiful message, right? They're saying that you are made up of so many different things, guys, right? There are so many aspects of your lineage and your heritage, especially for those of us in the diaspora, right? And for people worldwide, but especially for individuals who have, their family line has been really, really mixed up due to the different events that have occurred over history, the colonization, the slavery, people being moved hither and thither. And so you are a mix and a blend of so many different things. And some of you all are afraid to show up as one aspect of yourself because maybe your physical appearance is saying that you're supposed to behave or act in a certain way. And you're trying to figure it out because you feel drawn to maybe one aspect of your heritage or your lineage that you don't look like. And people are criticizing you or ostracizing you guys, saying that you're not supposed to do this because you are whatever it may be, right? So, I know a lot of African Americans get that all the time when they feel drawn, to a certain dynamic in their lives, and it doesn't look like what we typically call black culture. And so when that happens, a lot of times you feel off kilter because you feel like you've betrayed your race, so to speak, but you're feeling something different, and that's that those ancestors, that energy, that essence from your past and from different aspects of yourself, because you come from so many different cultures and you want to show up in a certain way. You want to bring that forth because the ancestors right here, look at them, they are waking up in you right now. Okay, and you're wanting to express certain aspects of who you are, chosen ones, but you feel like you are betraying some people, right? Or you feel like you're betraying a group of people, even so. And the ancestors want you to know, don't worry about that. Okay, you can't be focused on that. There are people from all different types of cultures where you feel drawn to a completely different culture. All right, and you're like, I really feel like I want to embrace this, but this is what I've been told my heritage and culture is, and your ancestors are saying that's inside of you. Go and search your history, your genealogy and things of that nature, and you will come to find out oftentimes that you have that aspect of your lineage and your heritage within you, but you didn't know it. You're just looking in the mirror at what you look like or who you have been told that you are. And so you've been trying to reconcile with that aspect of yourself because this is what you're supposed to express to the world. And they're saying you don't have to do that. You are meant to express to the world who you are authentically and genuinely inside of you. Okay, they're saying wake up to your power here. Wow, this is deep. They're saying don't be afraid to wake up to your power because you have a lot of power inside of you. Okay, and when you wake up and you grab a hold of that power, you grab it, and that power is going to come. It is coming rather from your ancestral heritage. It is coming from them. It is waking up in you. It is coming through you, and it is going to change you. All right, and they want you to be really open to these dynamics. They want you to be ready for these dynamics because it is coming. It is already there. Some of you already are feeling it deep inside. And you're like, I don't know, how to navigate this. And they're saying you will know how to. They want you, the ritual is coming up. This is one of the beautiful cards in this deck that I absolutely love so much, right? They're saying get into the, framework and the knowledge set that you need to dive into some deep level ritual work, all right? That could definitely look like ritual work from a traditional aspect because, as you all know, here on this channel, I absolutely practice Ifa. I practice the voodoo tradition and all of those dynamics, and I believe in indigenous and traditional religions. And so, if that is calling you for certainty, the ancestors are saying go ahead and figure out the right direction. Now, you don't have to be in a rush, right? Because this is high level transformation that we're seeing here. Okay, transformation is showing up several times. It's high level transformation even here. They're saying, there's some change, some things, aspects of you are about to die off. They're getting ready to really leave, and other aspects of you are going to show up fully, and you should embrace them. But again, dig into that traditional or that indigenous aspect of yourself that is calling you. Figure out what that is, guys. Okay, definitely. If you're interested in more about that, I have so many resources. If you're interested in the path of African spirituality, I have a book, African Spirituality for Beginners, and I have books on connecting with your ancestors. Matter of fact, this is the cover of it. It was taken from this card deck, so you can find it on Amazon, on my website, Connecting with Your Ancestors. But beyond those resources, they're saying get back to the knowledge base and figure it out where you're supposed to be. Start to study, start to delve into the knowledge that you need to embrace your path. But this is a deep level message about you not being afraid to do that. Okay, you're not being afraid of these different aspects of yourself, because they're going to come through. The parts that need to come through are going to come through to empower you, and you're going to need to take a hold of that legacy and that lineage from various aspects of your bloodline that some of you all don't even know exists. Others of you all know it exists, but you've been afraid or apprehensive about embracing it because some of you just didn't know where to start. Some of you all just, you've been told, that's not true. You are this or you are that by other people, or you've been ostracized, and they're saying, no, do not be afraid to show your full authentic self, because you have so many giftings and you have so many things within you that absolutely need to come out, because that's part of your gift as a generational healer, and you're not going to be able to fully access that until you decide that you are ready to embrace your full self without allowing other people to hold you back, chosen one. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and close up here. As always, Ashe. Please have a very blessed and beautiful day and beyond, guys.